The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Blackjack, a jackalope folk warlock.
I'm Connor Shenold, I play Jaska, a coyote ranger.
I'm Johnny, and I play Twitch, a rat folk wizard.
I'm Kimberly Cross, and I play Beatrix, a Tabaxi rogue.
I'm Kiri Hester, and I play Billy, a balsam fighter.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Ziansi, a spiderkin cleric.
And I'm Aaron Cross as your Dungeon Master. Join us now for Tales from the Wilds. After venturing into the sewers and defeating this strange twig creature, nightmarish horse, and a strange garbage creature, our furries have gathered around to figure out what this strange dead root is about. These sigils started glowing, almost depicting images of their past events on the material plane. They appear to be looking at them, and how are you all reacting?
Oh my gosh, he's so obsessed with us.
Whose voice was that?
So you all recognize it as the voice of Xantriox, the Beholder.
Beatrix is really checking out some of the ones that don't seem familiar. I understand part of these, but do all of these look familiar to everybody else?
Yes, okay, so before we met you, and Billy gives Beatrix the scoop.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This is like a scrapbook of what's been going on with everybody.
So surprisingly, Blackjack doesn't know the doctor's office with the weird eyes all that well. Twitch doesn't know the dark place, and you don't know the bug place and the goblin place.
Dimville was very fun. If you look past the giant centipede, then it was pretty great. There were a lot of really good bug puns.
And anyone can make me an investigation or arcana check.
19 Arcana.
18 investigation.
25 investigation.
Jaska, Twitch, and Beatrix. You realize that it looks like these symbols can almost be messed with in order, if that makes any sense.
I do notice that they're out of order.
Yeah, they're scattered about the place. They're not really in any specific order. It's not from left to right. They're just kind of scattered.
Jessica, put them in the right order.
It was the goblins first.
Well, wait a minute. Do you think this is a good idea right now? What's going to happen? I look where Billy was severely wounded earlier. What's going to happen when they're in order?
We're probably going to fight the guy and save Pumpkin.
Are you ready for that fight?
I mean, if we wanted to take a short rest, I could get behind that plan.
I wouldn't mind taking about a short rest.
And Jaska and Beatrix, you both are still very nauseous.
Oh, I didn't realize it didn't get rid of the nausea. Okay.
No. So this one is a very nasty poison condition.
Oh, poison. So my dandelion releases rejuvenating seed pods. Everyone within 10-foot radius of it, so everyone come around. Each creature of the dandelion's choice in the sphere can immediately end one of the following conditions on itself: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
Oh.
So for each person is poisoned, you are now no longer poisoned.
That's good because this poison was going to last 24 hours, and it was only repeat on the saving throw.
So, are we still taking a rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can take a short rest, I get my spell slots back. That'll be good.
It's not a very pleasant short rest. You're still in the sewers.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross down here. The rosemary effect after maybe about 30 minutes starts kind of wearing off, as it doesn't last entirely for a long time.
That's true.
It's not like you're going to get poisoned or anything. It just stinks down here.
And I'm constantly casting prestidigitation.
Beatrix is real goopy. So is Jaska. I'm just
We're not going to talk about the goop. There's nothing we can do to clean it off.
Prestidigitation.
I was say, Mr. Blackjack can give you a
I'm cleaning everybody up.
shower.
I'm making everybody smell good.
I feel that doesn't actually clean so much as more of it just visually disappears. Gonna definitely take a long shower after this. Anyway, after this rest, Jessica's gonna go and look at the rooms. I don't see one for like the caravan, do I?
No, you do not.
Okay.
Give me a insight check. Anyone, yeah.
16.
Well, I got a dirty 20.
19.
Lily and Jaska and Beatrix. You think about it for a second, and Beatrix, you have a little bit less of it just because you weren't with the group for as long as everyone else. But Lily and Jaska, you're really thinking, and you know if he has Pumpkin, Pumpkin probably could have told him a lot about your adventures ever since the mansion, ever since you found him near the mansion. But Pumpkin wasn't with you at the caravan at all.
Yeah.
So you assume whatever this thing is, he probably learned about these stories from Pumpkin himself. Thus why he doesn't even go into the Feywild.
So I think I know the correct order. The only thing I'm curious about is the ruin of the mansion. Is there a last encounter at the mansion or?
Yeah, we kind of went to the mansion like 3 different...
I think that's why it would probably be our final one, because we didn't go actually into the mansion until our final adventure in the Ironwoods.
True.
So I would say probably it's the last one.
Goblins, bugs, and then it was the doctor's office, then the Shadowlands, and then space, and then the...
Yep. So it's almost weird. The ruins almost seem to move to touch your hand as you kind of put them in a line order. As you put them in place, you see the greenish color grow even brighter. You hear a voice in your mind as a laugh kind of pierces through your mind. Your little feline friend has been very good at telling me all about you, which has, led me to come up with ways to defeat you. Goodbye, vermin. And as that finishes, the voice in your head stops. Strips of the dead root wrap around each of you, restraining you and pulling you in as your vision fades to black. Ziansi, you come back to consciousness. You seem to be trapped in what looks like a large metal tube of some sort that rises towards the sky. At the top, you see your friends shouting for you to climb up. You see dark clouds above them and the sound of thunder as rain begins to fall. It appears to be this water spout, maybe? You appear to be kind of small as well. What would you like to do?
I'll climb up toward my friends.
All right. So, you begin climbing, and all of a sudden, a large amount of water appears to be coming down. What would you like to do?
I'll just try to brace myself, maybe try to hold on extra sticky tight.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
Alrighty. 12.
I'll say with that, you manage to stick to it fairly well, bracing yourself. I'd almost say even wrapping some webbing around to make sure you stick to it really well. As this water rushes past you, you're all drenched now, completely and utterly, but you manage to hang on and keep on climbing as you see yet another second wave of water rushing through. This one a bit more than the last.
Well, we're going to try an acrobatics to maybe jump to the other side of the water spout.
Give me acrobatics.
That is a modified 18.
You see a little gap in the water particles, and you manage to jump right through it, landing on the other side of the spout. And manage to keep on climbing. And you're almost to the top as another rush, and this one completely filling the entire water spout itself begins to come down.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm just going to try to hunker down up tight against the wall again.
Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save. It's going to be a modified 5.
So as you are hanging on there, you see the top of this, and you see Blackjack waving at you, and you're trying to brace yourself for this last little bit as you get poured down all the way back down to the bottom as the water pulls you down. And as you do that, you hear in your head, "You're the reason you and Blackjack got banished from the Feywild."
Well, it was his idea. I say to the disembodied voice in my head.
Make me an insight check.
That is a modified 21 on insight.
You're thinking about it, and this almost feels so similar to the camp encounter, the dungeon run. You're thinking to yourself, maybe this isn't real. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to look around. Is there an opening at the bottom of this metal tube chute?
Give me a perception check.
Perception is a modified 14.
Yeah, there does appear to be an opening out to it where you see giant blades of grass, kind of look like trees among you as you're very tiny now.
Yeah, I will look back up to the figures at the top of the spout and say, don't worry, I'll be back later. And I'll head down toward the opening at the bottom. And when I get down there, am I able to peek out? What do I see?
So it appears to be blades of grass. You see water droplets everywhere, maybe a little bit of a stream of water, but you also see against the water spout itself rising up is just the brick wall that you climb up, maybe.
That sounds good. We're gonna a little perception check just to make sure there's not anything dangerous out there. I'm only a 9 on the perception check, though.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be anything around.
I will try to come around from the outside and head toward this gigantic, enormous, humongous wall that's there.
Are you gonna start to try to climb that instead of the water spout, or?
Yes.
Okay, give me an insight check and advantage.
That first one is a modified 20, and the second roll is a modified 15.
Looking at it, it looks like, surprisingly, this looks like it'd be easier to climb than the water spout. Less water going down one centralized location. And I'd say with that, you kind of manage to climb up it. There's a few water droplets you have to move out of the way of, but you manage to climb up to the top, and your vision comes back to normal. Blackjack, you awaken to find yourself in an underground tunnel. It is about medium sized to fit you. It requires you to crawl through it a little bit. You see an entrance out of the tunnels and see light pouring through the entryway out. What would you like to do?
I'd like to make my way toward the light.
All of a sudden, as you get closer, one large rock comes crashing through the escape hole, closing your way out from the light. A voice pierces your head and says, "You are weak little rabbits. Stay in your burrow."
Oh, that was creepy. Do I recognize that as Zentriox?
That is Antriox, yeah.
Why don't you come out and fight me? I've gotten stronger since I last saw you.
No response.
All right. Can I see around this boulder? This is blocking my way.
Completely and utterly, yep.
Okay, first off, I'm going to cast light on my staff.
Yeah, I'll say so.
I'm going to cast light and see if I can find anything else around me.
Give me a perception check.
Yes. Can I give myself guidance as I'm looking around?
I will say so.
14, unfortunately.
Yeah, you don't see much other than maybe a few scraps of food, such as like greens and vegetables. Other than that, there doesn't appear to be much else in these tunnels.
Did it seem like where I originally started from, there was also a back way to go?
It doesn't seem like it. It seems like this might be the only way out.
So, checking my inventory here, I am going to pull out my crowbar and try and hit this rock.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
He's been working out.
15.
So you start hacking at this thing. It's not moving, but you're clearly chipping it quite a bit. And you kind of tell it's getting a little bit lighter even because of the amount you're chipping off. As you realize you've definitely gotten stronger ever since the camp.
Excellent. So, as soon as I can see, I am going to use a spell slot and cast Misty Step and get on the other side of it. I just have to be able to see it.
I'll say you can't fully see it, but I say give me an athletics check, actually.
Yes.
Another one.
Yeah. 13.
You're trying to push up on the rock just a little bit, and you can almost see light, but as you do, you sort of fall a little bit, as you almost had it, but didn't completely get in.
Oh, I can do this. Come on, Brock. Help give me strength.
Either give me an athletics or a constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw is a nat 20 for a 24.
So you really think back to your friends, you think back to camp, you think back to Brock, and you get lost in thought as you start pushing. And it's not like you're pushing very hard. It's almost like you're powering through it. You're going through it, and you're making sure that you are just pushing all you got. You close your eyes for a second, pushing up. You feel slight movements. And as you look around, you feel pressure off your back as you fully push the rock out.
Yay, Brock. You were awesome.
Your back hurts a little bit.
I'm gonna be so sore tomorrow. All right, here we go. So I can make my way toward the light now.
Yeah, as you make your way towards the light and your vision goes back to normal.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/RedDirtDnD. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at RedDirtDnD.com or RedDirtRPG.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons & Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
Billy, you wake up to a smack on your wrist, and you hear a voice say, "Mr. Possum, it's time to stop sleeping and give your presentation to the class." As your eyes adjust, you see a raccoon woman wearing a suit with a nice pair of glasses. You appear to be at a desk. Various other creatures, including other possums, raccoons, groundhogs, and even squirrels, are all about this room, all sitting at their desks. On your desk, there's a pencil and paper. At the top is written presentation plans, while nothing else is written under it. The raccoon woman gestures for you to move to the front of the classroom and says, "Are you ready for your presentation, Billy?"
I look down. Am I naked?
You appear to be in a school uniform.
So, is my seat at the front of the class, back of class, middle?
Where would Billy have sat at the first of the semester?
Definitely would have been like a middle.
The middle dude? Okay, you are the middle of the classroom then.
Okay, I'm gonna stand up. I'm going to slowly walk to the front, and as I pass the other students, try to look at what they have written down so I can at least figure out what the topic of these presentations is supposed to be.
Give me a perception check.
16.
Looking around, they appear to go from different topics. Some of them seem like simple show and tell about a story you've had, about a event you've witnessed. Others are talking about a historical figure. It's kind of just all over the place. It seems like the teacher kind of just wants you to get up and talk in front of the class. Talk about something.
Great. Billy gets to the front of the class and shuffles his feet, looks around, coughs nervously. Hello, I am Billy Possum. Do I have my stuff with me? I just want my sword.
Yeah, I can say you have your sword on you.
Okay, so Billy pulls out his sword.
You see the teacher kind of go wide-eyed a little bit, but then thinks and just waits a second.
Don't get me banned. This is a prop sword. I am Billy Possum, Prince of Mudmans, and this is how I became Prince of Mudmans. And one time, my friends and I were walking around the woods, and there was a rock. And in this rock, I saw a sword. None of my friends saw swords, though, but I saw a sword. And so, with a little help from my friends, I scurry over the thorns, and I get to the rock. And with a little help from some of my other friends, I pull it out. And then these mudmans, they come up to me, and they're like, "Whooshoo! We are super curious about that sword. You should be our prince." And I was like, "Okay, I ain't doing anything else." And that's how I became Prince of Mudmans. The end. And he bows.
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Okay, so the first one was a 3, which turns into a 2, but I have advantage.
Yep.
5 turns into a 4.
So as you are sitting there telling the story, half the class appears to be kind of like either awestruck or just completely silent. One person, however, in the back, a squirrel, starts snickering a little bit and says, "That's really the best story you've got."
Okay, Derek. Nobody cared about that one time that you hid nuts in a tray. Way to be inventive. Nuts come from trays. But, that was my story yet, okay? That was just the intermission. So then later, after I defeated many monsters, like way more, including this kind of dopey, stupid monster named Xantriox, and he thinks really hard so that he knows that Xantriox is listening.
You feel like an acknowledgement kind of in your brain.
And he was dead, and then I got sucked into the Feywild, and then I defeated some werewolves and met Mama Moth, and she was like possessed, and then I helped defeat a dragon, and then I met Mama Mud, and she's the queen of the mud peoples, and I had to run a gauntlet, and then I had to use some monkey bars, and then there was explosions that I had to use my whole bag of coppers to make sure I didn't get exploded. And then I read the sumo wrestler, this other mudman guy, who was kind of a chump, if I'm being honest. And then I got upgraded to this awesome sword, and now I can do this. And he sprouts his wings.
You know what? I'll say that auto succeeds.
Derek? Does Derek look embarrassed?
You see some of his other classmates kind of turn at Derek. You see them start laughing a little bit, and they turn back towards you, and they see the wings. They're like, "Oh, wow." Even the teacher gives you a clap and says, "Good job, Billy. That was a really good presentation."
And I can read. And he pushes his glasses up on his face and goes back to his seat.
And as you sit down in your seat, you feel very good. You gave a pretty good story, pretty good retelling. You made Derek a little bit embarrassed. And you sit down and your vision goes back to normal. Twitch. You find yourself in what looks like a kitchen. It's full of people that appear to look like they are down on themselves and don't appear to be working on anything at all. A number of customers appear to be outside of the kitchen, and some appear to be getting very impatient. A voice pierces your head. Tick-tock goes the clock, Twitch. Best get to work.
Hey, is it him, the voice?
Yes, it is Xantriox, yeah.
I wasn't scared of you before. I know what you're up to, but I'll peek out the door and into the next room where there's people waiting, you said, or?
Yeah. There appears to be a number of customers. None of them have appeared to get much or any of their food. Some appear to be getting a little bit more impatient. They appear to be kind of looking around and almost bothering wait staff quite a bit.
Okay. Back in the kitchen, who's the person with the biggest hat?
You see this figure, some sort of halfling with undistinguishable features who has this giant, almost comically large hat.
Hey, what's cooking? To the halfling with the big hat.
Yeah, he'll look at you and go, "Oh, nothing much. It's just, there's a lot of orders out there, and I don't know. It's just a little discouraging, and no one's really wanting to work on it."
Which feels thrilled but uncomfortable as he thinks back to camp. says, yeah, they're unhappy because they're hungry. Don't you feel better when you eat?
Give me a persuasion check.
It's a 4. So when let's see what we got over here. Is there a fire going already on the cooking surface?
Yeah, I'd say there's a fire going on the cooking surface.
I'll grab some butter and throw it in. And what do you got for meat?
There's a number of meat. There's chicken, beef, pork, fish, all sorts of stuff to help cook up.
Grab just with my bare hands of chicken and some pork, just a little bit of it. Throw it in the fire there, find some kind of utensil and flip it around back and forth, find something to sprinkle on it, and then pop them out of the fire. I'll take a bite of one, and I'll give the halfling the other.
Make me a persuasion check at advantage.
21.
You see him kind of look at it, and he takes a bite. You see him feel a little bit better, and he starts looking around, and he goes, oh, we gotta get to work.
Well, wait a minute, though. And with a straight face, Twitch looks in the eye and says, was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
And Twitch just smiles, the biggest smile you've ever seen Twitch have. Hopefully inspiring, you fed me, and now I'm happy and satisfied.
You had this biggest smile. You see the other people in the kitchen sort of look at you with this big old smile and kind of happy that you served somebody. And you see them get more energy as they kind of looked at you and start getting ready to do stuff a little bit.
I want to move through them while I grab a few more pieces of meat and throw them on the fire. Encourage them, pats on the back, and then kind of slip out the door in where the customers are and survey. Then know this isn't where I'm supposed to be.
You hear coming from the kitchen the sounds of cooking begin again. You see some of the customers all of a sudden have this look of approval and almost relief on their face as everything starts moving once again. However, one very sour-looking high elf, his face scrunched up, looks around and gestures for you to come over. He looks at you and says, sir, when will my meal be ready?
You had the
crawfish is what I had.
Well, the crawfish, what you have to understand is it's being unloaded right now because you can't freeze crawfish. It has to be fresh. And then you got to get the water boiling and then everything entailed in that and butter.
He says, I'm not one to be patient, and my review counts towards quite a bit if you don't get my order out so fast.
Well, are you one to want to work hard for your meal and worry about shelling it? Or do you want to be surprised with it looks back to the kitchen door and goes, the bread bowl they're making and the creamy sauce they're going to blend it in. Yeah?
Maybe a persuasion check as you see the halfling peek over and he nods his head a little bit.
9 as I give a thumbs up to the halfling.
Yeah. And the guy just sort of sits there and he doesn't say anything, but you see him kind of start stamping his feet a little bit.
What did you ask for on your salad? I'll go grab that for you.
I believe it was croutons and a little bit of tomato and just a simple salad.
Yes, simple indeed. Okay, I'll be right back with that. You're gonna love it. He keeps his head on a swivel as he goes to the pass-through and slaps on it and says, salad, croutons, basic. Come on.
And you see someone who looks kind of brand newish making up a salad, putting everything you ask on it and putting it up there.
What's the best dressing they have here?
Caesar, ranch.
He did say simple, and he seems kind of basic. Ranch.
Puts a little bit of ranch on it. Hands it to you. Says, maybe that'll tide him over. I think we're almost done with that crawfish and the bread bowl.
Yeah, he said simple, so there it is. I'll take it back over to him. Here you are, and set it down.
You see him carefully look at it. He says, interesting. Maybe a persuasion check.
Dirty 20.
You give this almost kind of cheesy smile, I'll say, and you see him kind of look at it, and he starts eating it, and he says, it's pretty good. And at this point, you hear a bell ding as you see his order is up.
And that dressing, what do you think it is?
He says, yeah, probably ranch, I'm guessing. Maybe.
Would you believe me if I told you, and the looks are back and forth, it wasn't? And I'm going to slap my hand on the table and run back and get his crawfish head to whatever it's called.
As you step back, you see his one eyebrow raised as he keeps on eating a little bit of it.
And I'll bring back the bread bowl with the creamy sauce and crawfish.
You sat down and anything you're doing before he takes a bite?
I'll leave you to it. No one likes to be watched while they eat. I'll step back and then step back again. I'm going to see if he waits for me to walk away or if he starts eating while I'm kind of looking at him.
He actually kind of looks into your eyes as he takes a bite, making you very uncomfortable. All of a sudden, you see his eyes as he's chewing, staring straight in, almost like right at your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And you see his eyes brighten a little bit. He says, this isn't actually half bad. that sauce really brings out the flavor of this, mix matching a little bit.
It's not bad. I'll tell you what it is. Worth the wait. Do you need anything else?
No, I don't think so.
All right, then.
Give my compliments to the chefs.
I'll get you a refill on that water.
And as you step away, you see that the environment has gone from this drab, somber mood to this kind of happy, everything's back to normal. And as that happens, your vision goes back to normal. Jaska, you come back to consciousness and you find yourself in the desert, just like where you were raised. However, strangely, in front of you appears to be a number of what look like swing sets, slides, jungle gyms, and tube bases. Benches also line the area kind of around this playground. Various small tumbleweeds play on various playground equipment, while the parent tumbleweeds watch from a distance. You see blueberry and raspberry appear to be swinging, while some other tumbleweeds appear to be pushing them. However, Mistletoe appears to be heading for the jungle gym, pushing all the other tumbleweeds out of the way. As Mistletoe does this, a number of parent tumbleweeds grow concerned in their features. Some even look ready to do something more drastic if this behavior continues.
Mistletoe, calm down, okay? There's no need to push. Be nice, okay? How you make friends. She'll go over to the parental weeds. I'm so sorry about my child.
You do appear to still be fully Jaska. You're not a tumbleweed.
I'm so sorry about Mistletoe. I hope you could forgive them. They're just a bit excited to play on the monkey bars.
Give me a persuasion check at Mistletoe first.
Modified 20.
You see Mistletoe shake a little bit of disagreement, but appears to kind of like go from the monkey bars a little bit disappointingly and rolls to another part of the playset. And maybe a persuasion check for the parents.
Natural 20 for a 22.
The parents appear to calm down. Mistletoe didn't hurt him too badly. I mean, they're still a little bit concerned, of course, but they appear to be giving Mistletoe the benefit of the doubt in the situation. And eventually, a game of tag is started. You're still kind of watching your tumbleweeds have fun. They all appear to join in on this game of tag where the tumbleweeds are pushing each other. And once again, it seems like Mistletoe is playing maybe a little bit too rough.
Mistletoe, what am I going to do with you? So she'll whistle to Mistletoe to try and get him to come back over to her.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's only a 10.
As you do that, Mistletoe almost completely ignores you.
Okay. So being a stern parent, she's gonna march over, and Mistletoe's tiny. She's gonna try and scoop him up.
Make me an intimidation check, actually.
Okay. 21.
As you walk over, you see Mistletoe start shaking. This time not in like the disagreement way, more like in the, oh no, I'm in trouble way. And you see the parent tumbleweeds kind of nod in approval a little bit. I'd say you probably take Mistletoe, and what would you like to say, actually?
She's gonna balance him on her hip. Be like, Mistletoe, what's gotten into you today?
And you hear rustling noises, which roughly translate to, Jaska, I was just wanting to play and have fun.
I know, buddy, but you gotta play nice, alright? Now why don't you go back over there and share some of your good berries with your new friends, okay?
Maybe one final persuasion check. At advantage, I'll say.
So the highest is a 14.
You talk to him, and Mistletoe nods and goes over there and starts growing the good berries and starts sharing them as the tumbleweeds appear to thank Mistletoe. And Mistletoe actually enjoys the praise.
I need to stop being nice to the Mistletoe.
I mean, you were a little stern.
Give him more praise.
As Mistletoe shakes in delightment, you see the other tumbleweeds appear to calm down quite a bit as Mistletoe goes on and plays nicely with everyone else, and your vision all of a sudden goes back to normal. Beatrix, you can see the entire view of Athenus. The landscape sprawled out beneath you. It's quite stunning, but there's something not right, and it clicks all of a sudden. You begin to realize where exactly you are, sitting on a branch of the great tree in the center.
Red Dirt D&D Tales from the Wilds is Aiden Cross as our Dungeon Master, Kiri Hester as Billy, Connor Shenold as Jaska, Johnny Payne as Twitch, Kim Cross as Beatrix, Brooke Bullock as Zionsi, and I'm Michael Cross as Blackjack. First off, a very special thank you to Cord Semro, who provided the itsy bitsy spider music. You should check him out at cordsemro.com and on YouTube at KORDAS87. Our theme music was created by the cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music courtesy of Monument Studios, Ovani Sound, and TabletopAudio.com. Dice for the Red Dirt D&D cast provided by ST Way Gaming. You can find us at reddirtdnd.com. If you're enjoying Red Dirt D&D, make sure to subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd at whatever giving level works best for you. Join us next time as we travel farther into the wilds.
For each person is poisoned, you are now no longer poisoned.
Yeah.
And then the pollen.
It cures the poison on itself, and then as we're taking the long rest, it disappears and says, "Good luck, all my friends." Whoa.
I don't think I liked that it talked.
I thought, yeah. The talking also gave me the
It
ick.
was like an Aslan type of thing. Come on.
Yes.
No.
No.
I was with you.
I guess I'm not familiar with
I
those.
hope that it doesn't talk next time.
I'm there for it.
Man, Blackjack, you should pull more of those third-party program spell things more often. That was OP. I loved it.
Billy has a sternly worded conversation with Mudman about remembering to help in the fight.
Yeah, sure, whatever, Billy.
Hey, you've got to get in there and give me the help action. I whiffed way too many times.
I feel that doesn't actually clean so much as more of it just visually disappears. Gonna definitely take a long shower after this.
Now we just need to invent a shower.
Along with sandwiches.
Before we start the next encounters, I do want to preface something. I don't have an intended solution. I'm going to put you in a situation, and I want you to come up, think creatively.
All right, let's go, team, and press the DM. He's just looking for creativity.
I'll see what I can do.
No pressure, Johnny.
Some of them will be long ways. Some of them will not.
From my perspective, a man just came out of your closet and kissed you. I don't know.
No, this one is my closet over here. That's the door to the hallway.
Okay.
They do look identical.
So who's in the closet then?
Kelly
And
R. Kelly.
is trapped in the closet.
You see dark clouds above them and the sound of thunder as rain begins to fall. It appears to be this water spout, maybe? You appear to be kind of small as well.
He's the itsy bitsy spider.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'll climb up toward my friends.
You gonna say you're gonna climb up the water spout?
Hold on real tight to the sides, bud.
So you begin climbing, and all of a sudden, the fireworks. For those who are listening audio, which is everyone, you just did fireworks across the screen.
Yes, right. I particularly liked how almost everyone else was doing the from your pinky to your thumb motion of Itsy Bitsy Spider, right?
Yes.
I appreciate the moral support.
We're your silent cheerleaders.
We're gonna a little perception check just to make sure there's not anything dangerous out there,
Like a bird.
or tigers or bears.
Oh my.
As you almost had it, but didn't completely get in.
Oh, I can do this. Come on, Brock. Help give me strength.
Either give me an athletics or a constitution saving throw.
You just need to switch your patron from Oberon to Brock.
The Brock, yeah.
Brock,
Brock of Ages.
are you ready for your presentation, Billy?
I look down. Am I naked?
Yeah, they normally wear pants anyway, right?
I'm very, very clearly in canon. I only wear a breastplate.
He's Winnie Poohing it all over the place.
My persuasion is a -1. Oh, he's not charismatic. Possums are not cute. They are, but they're cute because they're ugly.
I saw for the first time ever a possum with baby possums. And
Oh yeah.
it's not like a kangaroo. It's horrific.
You made Derek a little bit embarrassed, and you sit down, and your vision goes back to normal.
I graduated school, guys.
Yeah, you did. Good job, Billy. Good job.
I'm valedictorian.
Proud of you.
Which I was so happy about this one.
Oh, let me see how I can ruin it.
We believe in you.
Pop them out of the fire. I'll take a bite of one, and I'll give the halfling the other.
Make me a persuasion check at advantage.
You gotta say, bam!
That's not how it'll sound.
Damn.
This is your Emerald Lagasse moment.
You see this figure, some sort of halfling with undistinguishable features, who has this giant, almost comically large hat. And
Which is, being Catholic, knows to approach the person with the biggest hat because they're probably in charge.
You should hide under that hat and make the Catholic cook the meal by pulling on his hairs.
No.
I did name this encounter in my notes Twitchatui.
Twitchatui!